Youth Speak is a program on Universal Heritage Television Niger, where all matters concerning the youths are discussed and analyzed by the youths, especially in a society where they feel abandoned and not fairly represented, yet so much is expected from them. Join us every Friday at 4 p.m. on our YouTube channel at Universal Heritage Television Niger. Youth Speak, a voice for the youth. Hello and welcome to the maiden edition of Youth Speak on Universal Heritage Television Niger. Youth Speak is a program on UHTV where all matters concerning the youths are analyzed and discussed by the youths. I am your host, Iwuna Monachi, and I have two amazing people here with me to discuss on a topic we would like to call Okite, the diabolic quest for wealth amongst Nigerian youths. Beside me, closest to me, is Ruth Fadeyi. Ruth Fadeyi is a core member serving in Owerri, the capital of Imo State. Ruth, please say hello to the viewers.
Hello viewers, my name is Fadeyi Ruth. Thank you for joining us. And
next to her is Godwin Anyanwu. Godwin Anyanwu, say hello to our viewers.
Hello viewers, thank you for joining us today.
Okay, without further ado, let's get to the business of the day. The illegal and the immoral quest for wealth amongst the Nigerian youths have been on the rise in previous years. Youths use different methods to acquire wealth and success. Those methods include prostitution, armed robbery, kidnapping, cyber crimes, and so on. You can mention it. But in recent times, the quest for diabolic wealth, it's been on the rise, and it's panicking. It's really a thing of concern. The recent trend is the use of Okite. Stories have it on social media that Okite is like a money ritual charm. And from what I've read, from what I've heard, from what I've seen on social media, the least amount required to prepare this charm is 3 million naira. And it's the methods used in preparing this charm just screams nothing but diabolism. You see the native doctors using human parts, rare animal parts to prepare this charm. But the sole intent of making this charm is to attract wealth and power and success. So this pushes me to ask this question: what could be the reason for the influx of youths into diabolic quest for wealth? Let me start with you, Mr. Godwin.
Okay, we all are in this society together. We know how difficult things are. All over the world, people, especially if you take your statistics very well, you will know that men are more involved in this than women.
Of course.
So it's difficult for men, and men will always do whatever it takes, because there's this load on them that you have to do this, you have to do that.
To be a man, no be day job.
So, but that's not an excuse. But I'm giving reasons why things are the way they are. If you check, for example, let me give you for example, when MMM came out, yeah, people will always try out some. When I tell someone that come and shake my hands, you get money, nothing will happen. That person knows that the hands don't bring out money.
Okay.
But they are going to shake my hands to get money.
Yes.
Okay, good. Now, if you have, you see this Okite, for example, you tell someone that, like the way I've had, you're not going to kill anybody, just come. People are going to be pushed to do that. If you have been to the hospitals, I was in the hospital from September down to December. I've always been going to the hospital because of issues I want to share. You would see people dying, not because of what they're suffering from, because they cannot provide for themselves. Yes. They can't eat well, they cannot pay their hospital bills. There was this woman I took down one day because she couldn't pay for her radiotherapy. If those in the line of medicine know what I'm talking about. She didn't pay for her radiotherapy, so she had to be discharged so that she wouldn't accumulate money, bills there. So I was the one that took her down on wheelchair. When I was taking her down, what she was saying was, I shall not die, I shall not die. And I pitied the woman so much that after that, I was thinking to myself, how could I get this money? If I could get this money today, I would help this woman. I started playing Bet Naija that day. You get the point?
Yeah.
Now imagine the woman's child.
Okay.
I'm not her child.
Yeah.
I just saw her situation and I started playing Bet Naija that day. Maybe I could win 1 million that day. Maybe I could. Are you getting? Now imagine what would happen to the woman's child. If that woman's child at that point, you come to that child and tell that child that there's something called Okite, and if you come and do it, you're not going to kill anybody. Just come and do it. That person will push to do that. In societies like, if you go to places like Canada and the US, they don't have a perfect society, they don't have a perfect community, but they do their best. For example, you see people joining the military. If you join the military, you can get grants. You have a disabled person or someone that is not feeling fine. Yes, you get those privileges. But those things are not here. People are dying off. People are suffering. People are not eating. I would have played something on my phone. There was this guy that called me yesterday. We've not spoken for over 2 years, but I have his number. I got his number. He was one of my, So for 2 years we don't talk. We just see each other's statuses. We don't talk. He just came to my DM yesterday and said, please, I should help him with 1,000 naira. Someone that has not spoken to me in 2 years. When I saw the message, I was kind of like angry. We don't talk. You're just in my DM for 1,000 naira. And I was with my mom. So my mom was like telling me that it's not appropriate, I should leave. But then I thought about it, 1,000 naira. Someone that I've not spoken to for 2 years, asking for 1,000, could be very serious.
Yes.
So I told him to send his account number, and I sent him the 1,000. Then he sent me a voice note. If you listen to his voice, that he has not eaten for 2 days.
That's
serious.
1,000 naira. And he was telling me that he would never forget it, that he will never forget what I did for him. 1,000 naira. Yes. If you tell that person that there is something that will give you money now, you are not going to kill anybody. They are going to try it. They are going to be pushed to try it, because we've been giving people a lot of false hope that about things are going to change, and people have a very wrong information about wealth, money, this and that. You see someone that has made money. You ask the person. Generally, it's what we do. They ask you how did you do this thing? You say, "Not God." We lie to ourselves a lot.
Okay, let me come to you, Ruth. Like, what do you think are the ways in which the society has encouraged this diabolic quest for wealth amongst the youth? What ways exactly has the society encouraged the youth to do this?
Yeah, the society has encouraged so much in the aspect whereby the so-called chief or wherever, they took them as they took them to be the best position, because they are the one that do this, they do such a thing. Then they took them to be the chief in the society, to be the king, to be wherever, because they see them, they have the money. They see them, they have the money. If there is other means, if the youths have the money, if they are employed, and they are doing other things, because unemployment is one thing. If there is employment, youth will be involved.
Yes.
And the parents also, if parents are being employed, it is very certain that your children will be employed.
That's true.
Like when I was doing my IT, a company in Nigeria, I wanted to apply for IT. They were asking me, is your mom or dad here?
So you have connection.
So you have to have connection.
Before you
start working. But the society is encouraging it, being whereby the people
who are more privileged.
They are more privileged.
Who are more privileged.
They make use of
not
them.
making room for those
exactly.
who are privileged.
They make use of them. So the society is encouraging it so much. So it's not meant to.
Okay.
It's not meant
so it's
to.
like you're trying to say that it's a matter of what you have or who you have.
Exactly, before you can get it.
Exactly. So okay, let me ask you, Godwin. with all this that are happening, you see young people going into diabolic means of, but I don't know if you've gone to parties recently, you see people throwing bundles of money and all that. I want to ask, what effect does this have on young people who are genuinely working hard to make money? What effect does this have on them? You know, they get intimidated when you want to come and throw your 10,000 naira. You see your fellow guy, 100K in bundles. You understand? So what effect does this have on youth or people who are working genuinely for themselves?
Okay. No, naturally, we all are jealous beings. Yes, naturally. So whatever, if I see you dressed well, naturally I want to dress well.
Yeah.
But maybe I will not be too jealous to want to steal your clothes because I believe maybe something I can get. But if I see what we say, I appreciate this person's dressing, means you would want to dress like that.
Yeah.
So if you go to a party and someone is throwing such, you'll be wondering like, how is this person making so much money that they can throw? So you want to, deep down, you'll be like, I want to do this thing this person is doing.
Okay.
So if you're making legit money, now the question comes is, it's just like, for example, when we are little, your mom will tell you, if you go out, don't eat outside. You might go out and see a very nice food. They offer a very nice food. You'd want to eat that food, but my mom said I should not eat this food. Now it's based on conditioning.
Yes.
Now with time, as you are growing older, if they say don't eat here, you just go there and no, you don't just eat. But it's now based on conditioning.
Okay.
What do your parents expect from you, for example? What does your child expect from you? What does your family expect from you? So if you have people that look up to you, if you have people that, for example, okay, if you have people that you want to show them an example, sometimes even no matter how the pressure is, you tend to hold on. You tend to hold yourself. Now, when you now have parents that pressure you, you now have a wife that is pressuring you.
Yeah,
you have children that, like where we are living now, for example. Where we are living, we have our house. We just packed in 2019. So after 2019, like recently, I went back to where we were living before. It was a one room, one parlor, one kitchen. So I went back there, I looked at that place, no bedroom, we bathed outside. Wow. So I went back there, I was like, did we really live here? Do you know why I asked myself that question? When I was living there, I didn't see like this was where I was living. You get?
Yeah,
but now,
now,
even when I'm in school, I always want to go home. I'm not asking myself, is this the home I always wanted to go to? Because I believe my parents gave me this kind of environment that everything is okay. Yeah. Even though everything wasn't okay. I could remember one time, there was no food. We came back from church. I went to the bush. As a very humble child, I was not stressed. I went to go and crack kernel. Okay. My mom inside the room started crying. Oh. So I went inside her room. I was asking her why. I didn't understand what happened. It was recently she was explaining that it was because her child was cracking kernel. So I didn't see it as anything. So, but there are some parents now that they won't give you that feeling. They're always about the money. But there was no money when I was growing up. But I didn't feel that there was no money.
Because there was no pressure.
Yes, there was no pressure. Yes. And the little my parents had, they were doing it. I don't know how they did it. That's why being a parent, I'm scared of being a parent. I don't know if I can do what my mom did or my dad. Because they will do it, you'll be seeing it as if you're living big. But actually you're not. It's when you step out from there, you now look back at that time and be like, I really didn't live well. So I feel it. Yes, okay. They contribute to that too.
Okay. Yeah. So let me ask you, Ruth, with all these things that are happening, when they say Okite is diabolic, of course, I don't really know, but speculations have it that sometimes they go as far as killing people, to get, or even before you kill someone, you have to kidnap someone.
Yes.
To kill someone, you have to kidnap someone. So what consequences does this have on society, both in development, in growth, and in the image it portrays to the outside world? What consequences does it have on the society?
The consequences is that a lot of things will be going wrong every day, and it leads to losing of lives. Yeah. Because if you kidnap, you will surely lose life, and they will be missing. Because there was a time in our country when the Boko Haram started kidnapping people, missing were much. Yeah. So if you kidnap, an individual will be missing, and they won't know the route
Yeah, the root cause of
They won't know the roots. And of recent, late last year, a lady was missing at Lagos. She entered the BRT bus. She was missing.
I think I had that
She
story.
was going from work
to her
house. So she was missing. And thank God she make use of her phone to her friends and the family to let them know what is going on. So anyway, we have to make sure that people around you know where you are, or know exact place you are going to. So, and we have to walk we are not to walk anyhow.
Okay.
You have to walk in a right way.
Okay.
Because if you are being told to go somewhere, you have to go there straight.
Okay.
And even as I'm concerned, my mom do teach me and do tell me that if you are going anywhere, tell somebody.
Okay.
Even if you don't want to tell me, tell your sister.
Okay.
So you have to inform people around you, must be aware of where you are going to, so as to be safe.
Okay. So from everything you're saying, I kind of feel like you're trying to say that with the things they are doing, including the kidnapping and the killings and everything, it breeds insecurity on the society. That's what it's actually speaks.
Yes.
Gordon, what's your opinion on this?
I agree with what she said about wherever you should know your environment. You know your environment. You adjust to your environment.
Yeah.
Please, would you throw that question again?
Yeah, what are the consequences of diabolic quest for wealth amongst the youth
consequences
on the society? Yes, on the society.
Yeah, we all know that every action we take has consequences. This diabolic
quest.
yes, it's unfortunate because we even tend to be the most religious people around. Yeah, and then we do all these things, and you now tend to ask, what's the
Aftermath,
effect of the over religiousness that we exhibit, whereby the word of utopia is not possible. Even if it happens, we'll perish. We'll perish. So there must be chaos. The reason, the thing is, education is very important, because education is not the one you get in university. That's what I'm talking about. That's a white man structured education. We don't have an education that we don't have an education that is dealing with ourselves.
Okay.
The education we're dealing with is a white man's curriculum.
Okay.
There is no education that is dealing with our resources.
Okay, let's leave education out of this and concentrate on the consequences
I'm coming
of
there.
this on the society.
I'm coming there.
Because like for you would
No, I'm coming there to how the consequences now.
Yeah, based on the society.
Yes. Now, this Okite, this one, that one. You say kidnapping. Kidnapping was happening in Nigeria before we started hearing of Okite.
Yes.
The people, as we do here now, politicians, or like this time for election, when we are little, when it's time for election, your parents will hide you.
Exactly.
They kidnap people a lot.
Yeah.
So kidnapping is not a new thing. Like I said, every action has its consequences.
Of course.
This thing we are talking about now, the younger ones growing up, they will lose a lot of faith in trying to live good lives.
Yes.
Because they will see that, what's the essence of living a good life? What's the essence of following this route when I can
go through
another way. Yeah.
So,
an easier way.
So it's even going to be worse going forward, because even the younger ones, there are some things I hear them say. There are some things I hear them say, and I'm like, what is happening? You hear the younger ones talking about how they want to do this one to get money. They are talking about the cars they are going to buy. It's not bad, but it's still bad, because they are focused on, and those children, if you ask them some things like some educational things, you can see a youth now, ask them, they continue talking about Nigeria was colonized. Who colonized Nigeria? They don't know. Something as simple as that. You see somebody posting happy independence. Who colonized Nigeria? They don't know. Just little things. They are focused on things that are not important, that will grow them. So going forward, it's going to be a disaster, because the younger ones, even the growing youths now that are supposed to teach them, no one is there to do that.
Yes, well. I heard someone, Ruth, I want to come to you this time. I had someone say something that that women are responsible for young. Okay, when you talk about Okite and diabolic quest, like you rightly said initially, that it is usually about the men, because you can rarely hear a woman getting involved in this. I know, but I pray that such a time doesn't come that women will start getting involved. But you hear someone say, women are the reason why some men decide to go into this diabolic quest, because in my Igbo parlance say, oh, barambo, is the women that we are working for. So what is your opinion on this? That do you think it's actually the women that make some men want, maybe they want to impress one girl or the other, or one woman or the other? Do you think it's actually the women? Do you think the women has encouraged those young men to go into diabolic quest for wealth? Do you think, what's your opinion on that?
It's not the women.
You
Because
think so?
yeah, I think so from my own perspective.
so?
Because
Daddy doesn't seem to agree.
women are also working.
Okay.
We are also working to survive. We have parents, because when women married, you still have to remember home.
Yes.
I still need to take care of my mom, my siblings.
Okay, so you need to work on your
I still need to work
That's
on my own.
10% of the women. 10%.
So women, we are working very hard
Okay,
to.
so you don't think the
I
cross
don't-
is on
I'm
that?
not sure the cross
I'm
is
not
on us.
saying I'm not saying women are the cause. They are part of the cause.
Oh, why do you
Why
say
do you
so?
say so?
Because 90%, 99% of men will definitely marry.
True.
So the woman is a factor.
Okay.
Are you getting? So a man now, a youth now knows that definitely I'm going to marry someday. So they are living up to an expectation. I have to. And now a lot of ladies, they want to put this one. They want to have iPhone 14. A lot of them. I give it to you. You take your statistics that if you see 100 girls using an iPhone, I'm telling you that at least 70 of them
Got it from there.
from a guy.
Okay.
So, and,
I don't know.
I'm telling you, and most of them now will judge men based on their ability to provide something. Maybe you see a man that is working, but because he's not driving a car, you want someone that will take care of you, that will take you out. And now maybe the man loves you, maybe the man loves you, and you break his heart because he's not providing enough for you. He'll be like, maybe when he starts dating another girl, he'll be like, I have to provide for this lady. I like this one. I don't want this one. It's a factor.
Okay. So women are okay, the women we are factors.
We are
So that's okay.
factors.
Okay, so I want to ask, who specifically do we blame for this social malaise? Is it the parents or the government or the youths themselves? Because sometimes some youths have this, they have everything they need. They have parents who are rich, they have everything they need, but I don't know, would I call it greed or what, that will still push them to indulge in this kind of activities. So I want to know, who do we specifically blame for this malaise? I know everybody there are different factors that contribute to this, but who do we specifically blame? The parents or the bad government?
Specifically, bad government.
Bad government.
Yes.
Okay.
If I take 10 boys, 10 young men that are broke in your village,
I like the word broke.
yes, if I send them to Canada,
Okay.
I give you 10 years, it is possible, I'm not saying the 10 of them will make it, but it's possible that in 10 years, 10 of them will build a house in Nigeria. It is slightly possible. Or let me say 8 of them. If we are to create a virtual world, we do that. We put 10 men in Canada. After 10 years, we check them. It's possible that 10 of them might build a house in Nigeria. If the same men, if we leave them in Nigeria, it's possible that in 10 years, they won't even buy a car. If they work legitimately, without fraud, send them to Canada. In 10 years, 10 of them might build a house in Nigeria. In Nigeria, let them work with their sweat. In 10 years, they might not build a house in Nigeria.
Okay.
So are you getting?
Yeah.
It's the environment. Who makes the environment like that? The government. So generally, still the government, because the pressure the parents are putting on the children, the woman is putting on the children, the friends are putting, still the government. If the woman had a good government, a good environment, she would work. It would be easy for her to work and
earn her own money.
you get that. The parent too. That is always some people outside the country disabled. They get grants, a little of those, but there are parents that
But
don't
they have
do
the
that.
opportunities, the privileges.
But there are parents that don't get that. Parents that are hungry, so they will see other people making money. They start pressuring their own children. So it's the environment specifically, and the people that control the environment and the government.
Okay, so in your own opinion, the government don't provide enough opportunities
Exactly.
and privileges, or even empowerment for these youths. Okay, what's your opinion on that?
Another
Ruth?
opinion is, you can see this man, I took him as a role model, Dangote.
Okay.
He started small.
Okay.
You can remember the way he started. And if there is provision,
Okay.
and it's not even a must you have a big money, you can start business little.
Okay.
Me as an example, I started little. I'm into a business of interior.
Oh.
So I started little. Not until when I have a big shop. I do my things at home. I have my sewing machine. I started learning how to sew. So if you start little, it's not a must you travel out. Dangote didn't travel out. It is when he started making money, it traveled out. It started little. Other people like that too. They started little. So if you start little, you will get it. And you know what you are doing. And you are being serious about it. And you are consistent. This, and we have social media now. It's helping. If you start your business little by little, and you are posting, going online, Facebook, Instagram, all social media. If you start posting, you have customers from there. So from there, you will grow. You get to where you are going to.
All right, thank you. Godwin, if the supposed leaders of tomorrow are in this, what do you think the future holds for us? Where do you see us in the next 5 to 10 years?
The future is going to be catastrophic. No, seriously, because I've thought about it, and I'm like, sometimes I'll be like, is it necessary to have children? Because where are they going to grow inside the society? Because there are some things my fellow youths say. I'm like, when they talk about the coming election, sometimes I'm like, my friends that watch my status know that I don't campaign for anybody, even though I know who I want to vote for. I used to tell them, I don't think Nigerians are ready for a change. If we are ready, you will know. You see it in our movements, you see it in our voices, in everything we do. Someone that is clamoring for change is throwing bundles in the club. You don't really understand.
Yeah.
I don't think you understand. If you understand, you're not going to do that. If you understand how painful, if you understand how hard it is, like, I'm not begging you to go and help people, but if you understand how hard it is, okay, you say someone now, like she said, that you need to start small, you need to do, it's hard for a lot of people that are starting small. A lot of people that are starting small, it's very, very difficult for Dangote didn't even start small. His uncle is a rich man.
Okay.
So it's not that easy. There are a lot of people that are starting small. All youths now, regardless, even the ones that are into all these things, the Okite, a lot of them started small. I know some people are lazy too, but generally, everywhere they are lazy people. But generally, Nigerian youths are trying to do one or two things. But now it frustrates them too much that they try to go for that quick, So I don't think it's all about starting small. A lot of people are trying their best to start small. If, like women now, if you go, there is no street you go now, you will not see like 10 tailoring shops. There is no, even some people, if you ask them what do you want to learn, they say, tailor don't too much for this place. Hair salon everywhere. What people are doing, they are trying their best to do things. So, but sometimes it's not enough, and it's not enough. So that's the case there.
Okay, in spite of the frequent crackdown on youths by the EFCC and other agents, security operatives appear not to be winning this war against this diabolic activities by the youths. Why do you think so? Why do you think they're not making any wave? Why do you think they are not winning against this war?
Are they fighting?
That's hilarious.
I don't think they are fighting. No, I don't think they are fighting again. Have you ever heard that the police cracked down people doing that before? How many times have you heard that? Do you think they're fighting? I do not think that they're fighting that. I do not think they're doing that because...
Okay, well, sometimes I do hear where maybe a big guy, like some say big boy, the bigger boys are being arrested by EFCC.
Not because they are doing Okite.
Okay.
Let's tell ourselves the truth. Not because they are doing Okite. Most times it's because of internet... crime, cybercrime, all those things. So most times they find out it's contraband, and most times because they are after their own selfish. Because sometimes if you go on the road, I'm not going to hide my mouth. If you go to the road, you see, most times if a young guy is driving a car, they must be stopped. They must be stopped. So, like I said, it's unfortunate. They must be. So I don't think they are doing enough. And at the end of the day, they will collect money. So those boys know that it's money that they're looking for. So when they just drop the money, so I don't think they're fighting anything.
Okay, they're only fighting for their own pockets. That's what they're fighting.
If the government is ready to deal with it, they'll deal with it.
Right.
Because me and you, even the armed robber, many of them don't want to rob. If you give them an opportunity, they'll drop the gun.
That's true.
That's the thing.
Okay, so what do you think is the most effective solution to this problem? Because it is a huge problem. Everybody is living in fear of being kidnapped, in fear of being robbed, in fear of being killed. What do you think is the most effective solution to this problem? Ruth, let me hear from you.
The first thing is to create employment. If there is employment, everything will be in place. Because you can't finish from school and sit back at home. And some people go to school after studying, maybe you study mathematics or engineering. At the end, you see them by the road. What are they doing?
It's not encouraging.
If there is employment, they will surely work hard to get to their destination
without even having to go through this.
Exactly, if there is employment. And another thing is, if there is support, you call the youth, you bring them together.
Support from who exactly?
Okay, support from the government.
Okay.
If you support them, or from your families that are rich, just like he said, Dangote uncle is a very rich man. So if he's very rich, he helped the brother to grow. So if you have a sibling and you are richer than he or she, you can help. And the government can even create employment for the youth, so they will grow. Okay,
thank you. Godwin, what do you have to say to this?
I will not agree with what she said because I don't. No, let's be factual. Okay. Nobody owes you anything.
Are you sure?
I'm serious. Nobody owes you. Your uncle
even
doesn't.
The government.
Okay, the government is different. Like I'm talking of the personal. Okay. The family part. Okay. Let's just say the truth. Like apart from your parents. If he gives you, it's out of his own will. It's not supposed to be so you're supposed to help your siblings or do that. I'm not saying people should not help. But if you rely on that, you are not going anywhere. That's true. Nobody owes you anything. And now, the government, sometimes I think about it. I don't really know, but I think about it and I ask myself, how are they going to provide employment? It's just as if they say government, come and start sharing small money to the youths. They're not going to provide anything because, for example, there are a lot of things we don't have. Our own petrol, we don't refine it.
That's true.
We don't refine our own petrol. If you build a refinery here now, at least it's going to take out a fraction of the unemployed people. Yes. And that fraction of unemployed people have people that they are feeding that will not have to do bad things to get money. If you build, for example, many of the clothes we are wearing, imported. We don't have iron. Yeah. We import iron.
Everything.
We don't. Imagine you set up those things. So it's employment, government providing employment. I feel it's not something that can just happen like this because we know our government is messed up. Yes, we know our government is messed up, and there's something I wanted to say. If the youths need to be employed. There's a guy, there's one of my classmates that deals with all this human resource management or something. He said a lot of people are unemployed. You're not going to blame them. If IMSU will start school December and write exam January, I don't know. Even primary schools don't do that. So it's that the case is too bad. You can call someone in the university and ask them some very little questions. There's a girl I met. I asked her she's a nurse. Okay. I asked her, I liked her, wanted to. Oh, yes, okay. but as a guy, you'd want to interact with her. Exactly. Something basic as what are the components of a blood? What are the components of the blood? She doesn't know.
Oh, and she's a nurse.
So it's very bad. So education, I think, is the thing. Okay. Because if we are well educated, which this society is not ready to give us that education, and it's very hard to see people that are ready to get that education. If someone is really educated, first of all, they know what money is. They understand what money is. Now, they will know where money comes from. They will know who controls that money. Okay. A lot of people don't know who control money. Or a lot of people believe, like, I'm sorry, a lot of people will tell you, like I said earlier, is God. Why your fellow human being is controlling that money? If you understand that your fellow human being is controlling that money, you find strategy to get it out of that person. Or you understand that going forward, this person is holding our money, this is what we need to do. Someone that scams a white man of 30 million and buys a Benz of 20 million does not have sense. Because the Benz is not as if you are the one producing it. Yeah. If that you are producing it in your country, you cycle that money back. Yeah. But you get money from, you take it back. So that person is not educated. Even when they might come out from the university, they don't know what they are doing. Okay. So okay, well, let me ask you, what is the role of the youths on this? Like, I remember one of our leaders called us lazy youths, because sometimes the opportunity is there for them, sometimes the support is there for them, but they don't seem to embrace this. They don't seem to use this. Do you think they play a major role in not getting or making use of the opportunity that have been provided for them by the government? Because we do blame the government, but sometimes the government makes opportunity to make sure or ensure that the youths are comfortable. Are you sure?
Yes, sometimes they do.
Example of the opportunity.
I mean, there are some. Have you never heard of youth empowerment? I'm not trying to anchor for the government or speak for them, but sometimes this opportunity do come out, even if it's a political ambition or something. It has to do with politics, but I mean, these opportunities do come out sometimes. But you see, some people they don't want. Okay, there was this story I heard about a guy that was given a shop and some equipment to start this video editing decks commercially and everything. He ended up selling everything in it and using the money for God knows what. So, do you think the youth are also to be blamed for this?
Individually, yes, there are some people that are lazy, but generally, I don't think. Generally, I don't think it's a thing that Nigerian youths are lazy.
Okay.
This empowerment you're talking about, at least I know this empowerment where they teach people, give people laptops, how to do some tech things. There is one of my cousins did that in Enugu. There are a lot of people that get engaged in all those things. But at the end of the day, what happens? When you teach that person that thing for a week, 2 weeks, what then do? You give someone a laptop, there is no light. I'm telling you, there is this. Recently we just got, we lived for 3 years without light. Generator throughout, so we just connected lights now. There's this joy that you're sleeping in the night and maybe around 2 a.m. light comes, bam, that light will give you inspiration. You remember that thing you want to do with your laptop, you open your laptop, you start doing it. But it's not someone maybe because you're learning this thing, but you still have to do your house chores, you still have to go to your shop or go to your mom's shop or your brother's shop or do something. And now you wake up in the morning, you do those things, you go to the shop. Before you come back, you're tired, you're cooking or you're sweeping or this, or you sleep. Then there's no light.
Okay, so you're saying that the mantle of responsibility still falls back on the government.
Exactly.
I understand.
Mostly on the youth too. Mostly on the youth, because many people they don't know what they are doing. You are being given an opportunity.
And you don't want to use it.
You don't want to make use of it. So any opportunity being given, make use of it. Then continue. If you continue, you will get to your goal.
Continuity is very important.
Exactly.
Okay. On a final note, what is your advice to your fellow youths who would want to indulge in this acts or go down this lane? What's your advice to them?
My advice for them is no. They should just not try it, because even in the Bible, it's a sin.
Okay.
If you try to get other people's money, their sweat, you won't enjoy the money.
I think the Bible called it covetousness.
Exactly. You won't enjoy spending the money. Because at the end, if you get the money, you will spend it lavishly. You won't spend it wisely. You won't spend it on something profitable. So it's better you don't even go into it. And you won't have rest of mind. You won't have rest of mind because you want to spend the money very fast, immediately. Then you see them going to clubs, spending it, smoking, wasting all those things. So,
okay, Godwin, what do you have to say?
This is why youths continue doing these things. There are people that send themselves out of this country through internet cybercrime.
Okay.
And there are people who are taking themselves to school outside of this country because of this. A lot of people look up to these things. So if this person can do this thing and do something good, let me try it. And maybe you see on the along the way, they will lose focus. Let me eat the money first. Let me flex. Some people do it, and you see other people are like, okay, this person did this thing. Some people are building houses. Let's be saying the truth. Some people in their family, they don't have a good house. Some people through cybercrime have built houses. I'm not saying it's good, but I'm saying that but I'm saying there are some positives that people will look up and say, this person did not kill anybody. But you get so. The youths that are growing now, going forward, if you're giving them advice on, is it good to do this thing or is it not good to do this thing? It's tough to say. Because if you tell them it's not good, what's good to do? What's the option you're giving them? Are you getting? I'm not saying it's good. But then, it now lies in, you need to read. You need to try and educate yourself. Education now is not only about, if you like, add religion to it. If religion is going to help you not to steal. Because she said you don't steal people's money. Actually, technically you steal. Technically steal because for your money is moving like this. You're collecting this from this person. But you might not technically, if I sell you this watch now, I've collected your money. I can also sell you a fake watch. I've collected your money. I can also sell you
above the price.
So collect some. But if you teach people what is little basic commerce, economics, etc. Nigerians, for example, let me don't know this money circulation thing is
Okay.
at the end of it, sometimes it's we youths now. It's when we are growing, we are aging, we start understanding them. Like our parents, many of them understand these things. But we, as we are still
Very young.
we don't really get it. We don't really get the basic need for economics. So that's it.
True. There you have it, dear viewers, from this erudite elites. I hope you enjoyed this show. Do well to like and subscribe to our Facebook and our YouTube channel on Heritage Universal Heritage Television Nigeria. See you next time. Bye bye for now.